Well, welcome. This is Ted from Ted's House of Comics. I have not done a video here of late, so I thought maybe I would throw one up and see what everyone thought. I have done a couple CGC unboxings. Today, though, I'm going to do basically a unboxing of a delivery that I just got in from Heritage Auctions. I've been basically looking at upgrading some of the keys in my collection, in addition to purchasing a few spec books, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to maybe share what I was able to pick up here the last couple of months. So, without any further ado, I've already opened up the box because Heritage does an incredible job packing, and you definitely would be bored silly watching me do the unpacking. But I have the comics out and ready to go, so here we are. So the first one up is Fantastic Four 48. One of the major keys for Fantastic Four. This is a book I've been trying to pick up extra copies of in anticipation of Fantastic Four making it into the MCU. This is a book I really enjoy, and I think I've got probably 6, 7, 8 copies of this now. My highest copy of this particular issue now is up in an 8.0. And I think this is a book that definitely has potential to keep increasing. There's been a little bit of weakness recently, but like I said, once the Fantastic Four works its way out into the MCU, I think you're going to see this book just jump, basically just keep growing as it always has. Next up is Silver Surfer #1. This is an issue that I have been wanting to get into my collection. It's not the first appearance. First appearance, obviously, was Fantastic Four #50, but Silver Surfer #1 is his first solo appearance in the Silver Age, and it is a book that I've been wanting to pick up. I already had a lower graded raw copy in my personal collection, but this is an 8.0 that I will definitely be putting into my personal collection, and probably taking the other one and putting that up for sale at some point in my eBay store, which is also under the same moniker, Ted's House of Comics. Next up is Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. Who doesn't love the jazz hands? I have been picking this book up. This is actually 9.8. Basically, anytime I'm able to find this book, for under $700, I've been basically adding it to the collection. I've got quite a stash of these now. And again, at some point, I will probably, pull them out and start selling them. But in the meantime, I've just been collecting them. Definitely, I love getting 9.8s whenever I'm able to. And this is the one that I said I've actually got quite a few so far. Next up is a book I'm really excited about, ASM, Amazing Spider-Man #18. This is actually the first appearance in Ned Leeds, and a Fantastic Four appearance. I have been working on trying to complete my series of Spider-Man here for a while. Unfortunately, I have missing probably about a handful of issues, including issue #1. Considered purchasing it about maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. Never got around to it, and I am definitely regretting it when you look at the prices. But this is a very nice copy, 7.0 of Spider-Man 18. So I'm definitely, enjoyed picking this one up. Next up is Tomb of Dracula. Fortunately, I already have a higher grade copy of this. I actually have a 9.2 in my personal collection. Not really sure what I'm going to do with this book. Probably at some point I will put this up for sale in my eBay store. It is currently a 7.5 white pages, so it's definitely a very fine book, and one of them really happy that I was able to pick up. Next up is Showcase #32. It is still amazing that you can actually pick up a fair, a number of DC books at a fairly reasonable price. Showcase is one of the series that I've been working on trying to complete. This is actually an issue I do need to get into my personal collection. And it's a basically 6.0 off-white. It's an issue that I would like a little bit higher grade, but even so, at the lower price that the DC sell for, these books do start getting a little bit spendy. So usually 6.0 is about the lowest I like to put into my personal collection, but it does vary from time to time. Okay. This is a book that I am really excited to have. This is basically the first appearance of Punisher, Amazing Spider-Man number 129. This is an issue that will also be finding its way into my personal collection. I do have a number of lower graded copies of this issue. My lowest actually being, I believe, a 3.0 that I'm actually got up for sale right now in my eBay store. But this 9.0 will be in my personal collection, at least for some time, until I'm able to possibly upgrade it maybe to a 9.2. Would love to get this into a 9.6, but the price is definitely prohibitive right now. Okay, moving on. Here is another Amazing Spider-Man that I have been basically looking to get my hands on. This is number 6 and a 6.5 in off-white pages. It actually is the first appearance of the Lizard, featuring Dr. Curtis Connors. Definitely was a book that, big key that I've been wanting to get, and the price was right, and I was able to basically pick it up here earlier this year. So really happy about this pickup. This particular box, I've got a number of Amazing Spider-Mans. Number of them are the first time I've been able to pick up the issues I'm putting into the collection, in addition to being able to upgrade a number of the issues. Speaking of which, here's another ASM, number 121, which is the death of Gwen Stacy, and with a Green Goblin appearance. This is again, one of the big keys. It's a 9.2 in white pages, which is actually replacing a lower graded copy into my collection. So I'm really excited to have this book in a 9.2. Next up, we have the first appearance of the Blob, Frederick J. Dukes, in an X-Men number 3, 6.0. X-Men, I've actually got the majority of this particular series. And again, unfortunately, I'm missing, I think, issue 1 and issue 5, but I've got most everything else in the series. This is one of the ones that I was missing, so again, I was happy to pick this up recently. Next up is the first full appearance of Galactus in Fantastic Four 49. I believe that this is a spec book I picked up. I believe I've got a 7.5 in my collection. But this is, again, a great book to have. I expect Fantastic Four, these issues in particular to really basically go up through the roof. As we go further. Oh, you know what? Earlier on, I actually had made a mistake indicating that the first Silver Surfer was in Fantastic Four 50. My mistake, it is actually in Fantastic Four 48. This is his first cover appearance, though, on issue number 49. So that was a mistake I made, so please, I apologize for that. Next up is another X-Men. This is actually the first Sentinels in X-Men number 14 and a 6.5. Again, a book that I was missing, and I believe I got a higher graded book in this box. We'll see here in a second. But if not, a 6.5, I am happy to have. And here we are, the second appearance of the Blob. In X-Men number 7, which is a grade 7.5. Again, this is an issue that I am excited to have. It was one that I was missing, so I am putting this into the personal collection. Next up, we have, as it turns out, I I accidentally picked up 2 copies of X-Men number 7 in this one auction. Sometimes what will happen is there'll be 2 books. I'll sometimes put in bids on both, and lo and behold, I won them both. Definitely not a bad book to have though. So the 7.5 will end up as my collection. The 7.0 will end up going probably resell somewhere down the road if if and when we see the price of this book increase a bit. Here is another Silver Surfer, number 3 in an 8.0 off-white pages. This is actually the first appearance of Mephisto that, is a beautiful cover. Definitely love this one. I actually have a raw copy of this that I think is a slightly higher grade that I actually have in the process of being pressed prior to being sent off for grading. So I'm hoping that the other book, like I said, will end up coming back at a higher grade. And if it does, then this book will end up being for sale somewhere down the line, whereas the higher one will end up in my personal collection. Next up, speak of the devil, I've got another Amazing Spider-Man, number 129, number 7.0, in a 7.0. I think I picked up probably 2-3 copies in this particular box. But again, it's an issue, first appearance of the Punisher. I tend to try to pick up issues of this when I see a price I like. And definitely I think it's a great book, and I'm happy to have as many of these as I can get. And speaking of which, another Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8. This is a 9.6, one I think I got a good price on, and I'll probably just sit on this for a little while, and eventually I'll again put it up for sale. Speak of the devil, first Punisher again, Amazing Spider-Man number 129. This one is a 7.5 in white pages. I believe, again, like I said earlier, my high grade is a 9.2. So these lower grade copies, I basically am picking up basically as spec books that I hopefully will flip somewhere down the line. And here is a Strange Tales number 115. This is actually, it's got the origin of Doctor Strange and the second appearance of the Sandman, which is definitely kind of cool since it went ahead, it pairs very well with the other Amazing Spider-Man I showed earlier that I believe was the first appearance. But this is definitely a book, again, I am happy to have, and just trying to fill out that series. So we're getting down to basically the last few books. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, and here we are, an Amazing Spider-Man number 4, and this is the first appearance of the Sandman. Like I said, that pairs very well with a second appearance, both in 7.0. Amazing Spider-Man, I have been trying to, again, finish up the series. I do have, the vast majority of the books, but I still have just a few I need to pick up. I believe issues 1, 2, 5, maybe 7, 9... Spider-Man, I probably have close to 10 issues I still need, but I'm getting there. Here is a Fantastic Four 45, the first Inhumans. Again, this is an issue that I believe I've already got in my collection, but in a slightly lower grade. So here, this purchase was made to basically upgrade my existing copy. And it's one that, there's been a lot of speculation about maybe the Inhumans coming back in. Unfortunately, the show when it came out was, was poorly done and was received very poorly. So with that said, it's kind of hard to say whether or not the humans will make it back in. But, they're definitely an interesting cast of characters and be fun to see them. If they make it back in, we'll definitely see that book get a nice bounce out of it. But again, I'm happy to have an 8.5. Okay. here is an Avengers number 2. So Avengers number 1, if you have not been, if you haven't noticed, has actually been seeing some nice increase in value recently. So I picked this book up as a spec book. I currently have an 8.0 in my personal collection. So this is a book I figured I would maybe pick up. Got a decent price for it, and we'll wait and see if it does, start increasing like one has. Then I'll hopefully make a little bit of money on this book. But it's one that it's always fun to have. Second appearance. And actually, folks, that concludes the boxes, the unboxing tonight. So again, I appreciate you watching. And, again, I am Ted from Ted's House of Comics. You can follow me both on Facebook, YouTube, and my eBay store. So definitely come by, check it out, and hopefully I'll see you around. Thanks, and have a nice evening.